Wow, Tammy. You know what? These girls get us going.
They're my angels. They have a job in the morning. Wake me up, make me happy.
That was mentioned.
20 seconds.
All right,
15.
let's get this bad boy up.
10 seconds. Okay, mics are going hot.
All right, listeners, you know what we're doing now. We are kicking off AM News nationwide and around the world. We're actually bringing the community right in your front door. How do you get involved? Come join us. We're in the Reno Town Mall. You can come join us. We're like maitre d's. We'll seat you behind a microphone and you can let us know what's on your mind. You can also text us. Let me give you that text number. 775-384-4444. You can also call us. Today's number is 775-827-8900. Let me give it to you again. It's very, very important. It's 827-8900, area code 775. The toll-free number nationwide for other companies is also on the blink. So again, 775-827-8900. We are brought to you here in Northern Nevada by Dolan Automotive Group, Kidder Law Group, Precision Diamonds, Scampi's beautiful restaurant. Pasta, seafood, baby. And also the Vagabond Inn. Their phone number is 825-7134. Find out why all the guests of America Matters Media, including yours truly, stays at Vagabond Inn here between the beautiful Peppermill and Atlantis, right on US 395. And also, we're brought to you by our national sponsor,
Pawnbroker.com.
And man, you can find any and everything on pawnbroker.com. We happen to be the only national news show that believes in the pledge. We believe in prayer in school. We believe in prayer and pledge in courtrooms. So we kick off every hour on the hour with a pledge of allegiance to yours and my great flag of these united, and I repeat, United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And you know, we always repeat here on AM News,
Under God.
and we believe that. So what do you believe? Give us a call. Remember, the number today is 775-827-8900. Joining us in studio and living proof that you can do the same thing. Just walk through the mall doors here at Reno Town Mall across from Atlantis Hotel Casino is none other than the host, one of the hosts of Mustang Matters, a national talk show all about our American heritage, the wild horses and burros nationwide. That is none other than our Lakota friend, Joann Spotted Bear. Joann, welcome to AM News.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Good morning.
You know, hey, do this real briefly. So a lot of people are listening to AM News have never heard Mustang Matters any time in their lives. Let's personalize this show a little bit. Where were you born? You know, and what led you to be doing what you're doing today?
Okay, do you want me to start from the very beginning of my life?
Yes, that would be when you were born, Joe.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure, in case you wanted me to start before I was born.
No, but we do want you to start.
Okay, thank you. My name is Joann Spotted Bear. My Lakota name is Matogleshkawi. I am a Oglala Lakota Tetuan Sioux of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. I'm originally from Wounded Knee. I am a descendant of the Little Bighorn, Wounded Knee Massacre 1890, World War I, World War II, 1973, when the American Indian Movement named AIM went against the United States federal government. My father was a cop. Today, I am a law advocate, assistant judge, a Tetuan treaty representative, and the host, along with you, Eddie, with Mustang Matters.
Along with
Thank you.
Lacey J. Dalton, country
Yes.
western singer. And
Famous.
I've got
Famous.
famous country western
Yes.
singer. And I've got to tell you, welcome to the set. You know, Dennis, it's really great that she just walked in this morning and joined us on AM News. Listeners, national news. And you know, I'm going to put you on the spot, if you don't mind, before we have to go to callers. First, I'm going to read a couple texts. As usual, Dennis, who do you think?
From Alabama, it's the quote of the day.
No,
No?
it's not.
It's not.
It's the Romeo Angels.
Oh, hi, angels. Good morning, angels.
It's the Romeo Angels. Hard to believe. Let me pull them up one at a time.
One at a time?
One at a time, and we've already got two or three of them. And let me kick it off right now. Ready? Happy Thursday. Tammy here, one of Romeo's Angels.
Hi, Tammy.
Love the idea of a Romeo building. Okay.
Oh, Tammy, you and I think a lot alike.
How about a boutique called Romeo's Angels? Have a great day to my America Matters men. But remember, as Judy said, okay? So here's the amazing thing. I read the wrong text first. Okay? She said, as Judy said, only one Romeo. Wow. How about that? Now let's get to Judy, if you don't mind.
Hi,
Okay?
baby. Good
All right.
morning, Judy.
All right. This is Judy. Judy texted in before Tammy did and said, good morning, my boys. Judy here. Set my alarm so I could get up. And I apologize, Judy, that I read the wrong text first. I could get to the text and wish the one and only Romeo a wonderful day. Love hearing that voice.
Oh, baby, remember your mission in life. Be beautiful, spread poise throughout the world, and be proud to be Romeo's angel.
She says, what? Isn't that crazy? I love this. Okay, she says, maybe, now here's another request. Maybe we can build a cafe called Romeo's Cafe in your city. Now, ready? About time somebody mentioned me, okay?
Oh.
But there's a
Good morning, Eddie.
There's a sad twist, okay? Because Judy says, you know, Eddie, you are amazing too, but there's only one Romeo.
Eddie, and you know there's contenders and there's pretenders, but there's only one original. That's me, Dennis Romeo.
You better believe it. Okay, listeners, I tell you what I want you to do right now. We're live. We're live here at the Reno Town Mall. A lot of texts have already come in. I'll get to all of them. That text number is 775-384-4444. And today's phone number to call us and get involved is 775-827-8900. Remember, you can do like Joann Spotted Bear. You can actually come into the Reno Town Mall and come in and get behind a microphone and let us know what's going on and what is in your mind when it comes to news, weather, sports, or updates in the area. You know, one of the things that I'm impressed with, Joann, you always kick off Mustang Matters, okay, with a little bit of flute, okay? And you also give us a Lakota prayer. Now, could you do that for a couple minutes for us on a national news show that has virtually listeners around the world? Could you do that?
I would love to, Eddie. That's one of my best in the morning is always praying. Praying is one of the best in the morning. It don't matter what country you're from.
Amen. So let's do this. Let's start off with a Lakota flute music, okay? And then when you're done, you know, with that little tune, then I want you to pray for AM News listeners around the world, and I want you to do it in Lakota.
Oh, thank you very much. I would be happy to, and I'd be very, very honored. Thank you. Here we go. Listeners, I'm going to play a little flute here. Before I do that, can I explain what song I'm playing?
Sure, please.
Okay. Listeners, I'm going to play the flute here, and I dedicated it to all the horses that were slaughtered, and the buffalo and the dogs and all those who had passed away. And I wanted them to be remembered in our daily life. And the prayer that I'll be praying will be in Lakota, but I'll also translate it in English.
Beautiful. Go ahead.
Okay. Atewa kanta ka takashla wopla onshimalo metikile hianikile dawish the hecha. Shimka wakan all yate ki dawish the hecha. Omaki ayo chin dagnish ni meswashni ashtin ye wakana dako hechawashteki hechitelo. Omaki ayo chin le dako hechawashte nye yuhahelo. Oh, madakyase. Creator Almighty God, I ask you to bless over all the horses, all the people. Whatever there is in life, it all belongs to you. Thank you for this day. In Jesus' name I pray. Help, madakyase.
Wow, Joann Spotted Bear, Lakota from Pine Ridge Reservation, who came here this morning, and I'm gonna bet you drove your res car.
Oh yes, my beautiful res car. I don't know how to work on cars, so I use duct tape.
I don't think anybody on a res does, do they?
Well,
No, really think about it. Every res car I've ever seen is duct taped up, okay?
Yeah,
And I'm gonna name your car. Ready? I'm gonna name your car Timex.
time.
Yeah, because it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Let's go to our callers right now. 775-827-8900. Dennis, who do we have?
Eddie on line 3, we have Penny. Hey, Penny.
What's up?
Good morning, Penny.
Good morning, cousin.
Oh, my word, and oh, Penny Floyd King, how are you, beautiful cousin of mine?
Oh, I'm just good, Eddie. It's kind of windy over here on the Gulf Coast this morning.
Well, you know what? That's what I want to kick off with right now, because listeners, this is Penny Floyd King. She's calling in. Tell them where you're calling from, and then give us the weather and also any news item from your area, cousin, because this is Penny Floyd King, my cousin from when I was really little, Joann. I mean, really little.
You were small?
I was. Watch out now. Watch out now. Remember, there's a reason. There's a reason why we got this country, so be careful. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not small either.
The main thing Eddie forgot to tell you is that we're both from Mayport, Florida.
Amen. Mayport,
Nice.
Florida.
That's right.
That's right.
Now,
And
I'm calling from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. It's windy here, not very chilly, but, nice weather. And the latest news, well, I haven't turned on the TV this morning or the radio except to listen to my cousin.
amen.
But my husband recently went over and to welcome the honor flight that was returning. Our last Mississippi honor flight, our World War II vet, went to Washington. And we're just celebrating those wonderful American heroes of ours.
You know, and Penny, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your entire family, but I'm also extremely proud of your husband too. You know, a minister, right? And he's also goes over and does so much for our veterans. I know your hands are going to be full this coming Monday on Veterans Day, but you know, I have, and I'm going to formally, thanks to Lacey J. Dalton, Michael Martin Murphy, thanks to David John, Comstock Cowboys, and just so many involved next year, June 7th. I'm hoping you and your husband can come to the Wainema Ranch, be my guest, okay, and be there when we do an event called Mustangs, Mustangs, Mustangs. And then the next day after that event, Penny, I have arranged for prayers in the pasture. Okay, and it'd be an honor to have your husband maybe say a few words. So am I going to have to fly there and drag you both?
We'll do our best to be there, Eddie. I love you, cousin, and look, you keep up the good work.
All right, I love you too, cousin. Thank you so much for the call. You have actually, hey, Joann, tell her, do I have a tear in my eye or not?
He has an ocean of tears in his eyes,
Well,
and they're filled with love.
They are. They truly are, Penny. Thank you for calling, sweetheart. I love you to death, okay? All
Love
right.
you too, Eddie.
All right, all right. That was Penny. She called from, ready? Mississippi. How about you? That number is 775-827-8900, or if you want, you can actually text us. That text number is 775-384-4444. I just love that girl, Joann.
She sounds like a really nice lady. I was down in Mississippi one time, and I want to say Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, say it then. If you want to say it, say
It
it.
was Jackson, Mississippi.
There you go. See, it's that easy on AM News. I tell you what, now sit right there because God, I'm still reeling from listening to Penny call in. She called from Mississippi. Our number is 775-827-8900. We always go to callers first. Dennis, who's up?
Well, Eddie, on line 2, we have Alan. Alan?
What's up?
Hey Eddie, how you doing?
Hey, Alan, now let me ask you a question. Is this the Alan from Oklahoma, Florida, or is this the Alan from Texas? You tell me.
This is the Alan from Oklahoma that I used to live in Florida.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Alan. Now here's let's make it simple here on AM News. Start off with the weather. What's the weather like in what part of Oklahoma you calling from?
I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The weather is about 32 degrees, and it's just way too cold.
Wait.
We had our first freeze last night, and I think I'm going back to Florida.
Well, you know what? I tell you what. When I swing through the nation to go pick up Penny Floyd King and her husband, I'll pick you up and you and I'll head that way. How about that?
All right, that sounds great.
That sounds great. Well, Alan, let me ask you another question, my friend. Okay, what is the news item in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Anything just kind of sticking out there in Tulsa?
Well, the news items that's going on here, it's been going on for a while. I don't know if you guys heard of Justin Brown. He's a Cherokee guy who's fighting in custody to keep his own child. Well, the governor of Oklahoma got involved and said that he had to give up his child to this South Carolina couple that was trying to adopt her, and they were adopting her illegally. And so I got really angry about it, and so now I'm trying to run for governor of Oklahoma.
Well, bless your heart, Alan. You know what? Now, that's what I love hearing. I love that from all of our callers nationwide, and we have callers around the world. I'm talking England, Spain, even the island of Menorca has called in, and also
Australia.
Greece, Australia,
Yeah.
better believe it. And Dunn, if you're listening, give us a call, or better yet,
He
email.
has no telly.
Oh, that's right, no telly, mate.
No telly, mate.
That's what he emailed. He can email, so can you listeners. That email is pardonme, one word, pardonme.eddie@gmail.com, and you can go on Facebook and leave a message at facebook.com/pardonme.eddie. Alan, you don't know, I really appreciate your call from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Joann Spotted Bear wants to say something to you real quick.
Eddie, Heoni Washtek, good morning. And I was wanting to let you know, as you run for governor, I want you to know that there was 564 federal treaties that were withheld at the Library of Congress. And just recently, there was 3 treaties that were sold for $300.
All right, keep that in mind, Alan. I appreciate it. Hey, Alan, thank you.
The South Carolina couple gave $10,000 to the mother for shut-up money to adopt this child, so they adopted her illegally. And I confronted Mary Fallon about it, and I said, how come you're not standing up for parental rights? And she said on TV that he had to give up his child. And I went out and said that she basically said she doesn't care about Oklahoma, she doesn't care about parental rights, and she doesn't care about Native American rights.
Wow.
I want to stand up and say that we need to fight for our rights, and we need to protect the birth parents, because they are the first ones to choose what is right and what's best for their children, not somebody that has $1 million in their bank account thinks that money can buy a child.
Amen. Alan, so well said.
Passionate about it.
Well, I'm glad you're passionate, buddy. I'm glad you're passionate. I don't want you to lose 1 ounce of that passion. I want you to call us periodically and update us here on AM News. You see, we're different than any other news station, and I think that's the reason why even Romeo has a following now of angels, and the reason is because it's not our news show, Alan. It's yours. So call us in from time to time with updates. I really appreciate that, okay?
Okay, and I'm also going to try to get you to have your show broadcast in Oklahoma.
Beautiful, brother.
And if I do become the governor, you will be broadcast in Oklahoma.
Well, bless your heart. Hey,
That's good. That's good.
you run on that alone, Alan, and we'll be supportive of you and promote you all the time. Thank you very much for the call, Alan.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Alan from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Penny from Mississippi. We have Joann Spotted Bear from Pine Ridge Reservation. She's on set. You can come join us. Let's go to the callers. Dennis?
Well, before we go, Eddie, I want to apologize one more time to our sponsors because we did it again.
No kidding.
Yeah, we blew right through a commercial break. So
God, how would you like to advertise on AM News?
Now, you're asking me that because what do I always say? Sponsors. We have callers on the line. And on line 2, we have Ken. Hey, Ken.
What's up?
Well, it looks like the stock market's going to open up this morning. The Dow is going to be up about 67 points. The S&P futures are currently up 5.25, and the NASDAQ futures are up 4.5. We had some pretty good news. The economy, the GDP came in. The economy grew at 2.8% last quarter, a 2.8% rate, and the European Central Bank has decided to cut their interest rates down to 25 basis points. And the Twitter IPO will begin trading today. We've got a pretty big day in the market. Looks like we'll have a nice, strong opening.
Wow, Ken, let me ask you a question. So Twitter hits the shelf today?
So Twitter's out today. Yeah, price last
Wow.
night. Yeah,
How'd you learn about that? A tweet?
right.
Hey, Ken Roberts, he's the host of Ken's Bulls and Bears, part of the America Matters media family. Every hour on the hour, he gives us an update with the stock market. But more importantly, Ken, if people want to get that phenomenal book of yours, if they want you to take a look at their portfolio and maybe have you handle their portfolio, how do they get a hold of you over at Fat Tail Trading and Research?
You can give me a call at 775-825-4555. You can find my book, The Tactical Option Investor, on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com.
You better believe it. Ken, look forward to the report next hour, my friend.
Thanks, Eddie.
All right, that was Ken Roberts. He called. Penny called. Mississippi. Alan called. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can call 775-827-8900.
Where in the heck is Alabama this morning?
Yeah.
We're
matter of
what,
fact, let me check.
21 minutes into the show?
21 minutes into the show. There's a guy, Joann, since you joined us, you have no clue what we're talking about. Okay, but what happens is we have texts, we have call-ins, and we also have people who leave comments on Facebook all the time, and they even send me quotes, they send me prayers, and they send me updates of what's happening in their area. And wow, ask and you shall receive.
We got it?
Paul.
Hey, Paul, good morning.
He says, listen, let me read Paul's text right now from Tuscaloosa,
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tulsa.
I was close. I was about to create a new city in Alabama called Tulsa.
Before we do that, Alan, if you're listening, is Guthrie, Oklahoma anywhere near where you're at? Go up and tell Sadie hi for me. Just
Yeah.
tell her Romeo says, hi, baby.
That's another one of Romeo's Angels nationwide. Sadie in Guthrie, Oklahoma. But here's what Paul in Tuscaloosa, Alabama has to say. Paul said, well, I waited and gave you every opportunity in the world to beat me, but you did not do it, Eddie. You did not do it. What's with that? I want my quote right now. Well, ask and you shall receive, Paul.
He was right.
That's right. That's the way it works. And this one, Paul, I'll give to you and your wife if you're married. And if you're not, there's probably a good reason why you're not. Okay? You better believe it. But how's this for a quote? And it comes from none other than, ready? An organization called That's One Kick-Ass Mommy. How about that?
No, we better be careful with that one.
Okay, not use mommy,
Well,
mama.
Mama, whatever.
All right, listeners, here it is. Ready? A woman is always right. Sometimes they get confused, misinformed, rude, stubborn, unchangeable, and senseless, but they're never wrong.
Oh, that's true.
That is so true, and what a wonderful quote. Paul, that's for you, brother. That is
Whoa,
for you.
can I interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm right. I'm just right.
See, you can always interrupt because you are always right. I love it. I love it. Hey, by the way, I'm so excited to have heard from Penny, and she just responded right now. She said, I did it. I did it. Yes, you did, sweetheart, and you can always do it. You can always call into AM News because it is not our news show, Penny. It truly is your news show. It is the news show from everyone across the world. And as a matter of fact, I tell you what we'll do right now, let me go to an email to prove it. I'll go to an email to prove it right now, and it says, and this is our good buddy, Dunn.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. In South Australia, lives near Anarudina Creek, and lives near nothing else. Nothing. This guy lives in the outback. He makes a reservation look like a metropolis, Joann Spotted Bear. You know, I'm telling you.
I'm kind of,
I
don't think.
You're jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I want some, metropolis.
You want some, well, let me tell you what Dunn writes in from South Australia and says. He said, temperature today, 71 degrees. And remember, I can't tell you the temperature there because it's already tomorrow where you are.
Is he single?
There you go. How about that? We'll be a matchmaker.
Wait a minute, it's tomorrow where he is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he can't tell us the temperature here because it's already over.
Okay.
Oh.
It's already over for Dunn. Dunn, thank you for that text. You don't know how much. Listen to this. Okay? Says, love that voice. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. And ask Dennis, who is his number one angel? Uh-oh, you're being put on the spot right now, buddy, by Susie.
Romeo.
Wherefore out thou, Romeo.
Baby,
Romeo.
you know you're number one. There's no question about it.
All right, listeners, that's enough of that. This is not an X-rated news show. It is your news show. We have received weather reports right now from Mississippi, Oklahoma, weather report from South Australia, weather report from Pine Ridge Reservation, and a weather report right here in northern Nevada. And that northern Nevada weather report that is absolute living proof that nobody comes first when it comes to AM news, but the people who actually get involved. And here's the proof here in northern Nevada. The weather is brought to you by a local Sparks resident, not by us. Ever since we started this show, Joann, and we have never done the weather. Let me tell you what we've done. We have always allowed the weather here in northern Nevada to be brought to you by a Sparks resident who's a retired gentleman. His name is Richard LaFlame. And Dennis, what do you call Richard?
The What's Up Weather Wizard.
The What's Up Weather Wizard, and he writes in right now and he says, all of our weather sites are telling us that we're looking for the highs to reach 68 degrees with lows near 37 under cloudy skies again. There should not be any rain, just clouds. It is 42 degrees right here in Sparks at this time. We also have high winds for the Lake Tahoe area and down here later today, meaning down in the valley, the Reno Sparks Valley. And he says all roads are open with no controls. That happens to be Richard LaFlame, our Weather Wizard. Thank you for that, Richard. But again, that is absolute living proof. AM News is your news show around the world. We've heard from Australia. Want to hear from you. Who do we have, Dennis?
Well, we're going to do it again. We're late going to break. But callers always come first here. And on line one, we have Trooper Chuck. Hey, Trooper Chuck, what's up?
Good morning, Dennis, Eddie, friends. We are off to another fantastic start as folks make their way out the door and onto the roadways on this nice and gorgeous Thursday morning. Currently no crashes to report throughout the entire region of northern Nevada. And just real quick on a safety tip, Eddie, with these colder temperatures nowadays in the morning, a lot of folks like to take advantage of pre-warming their vehicle. But if you don't secure that vehicle, lock it with a second set of keys, those vehicles find their way out on the road without their owner. I don't know how that happens, but no, the auto thefts do increase this time of year. But in all sincerity, think about that when you're warming up your car on these chilly mornings.
You better believe it. And thank you also for that tip too. I really appreciate it. Now, listeners, I have said this before. Trooper Chuck, when you call us again with our next update for the highways and byways here in Nevada, if there's any tips that you can give us, like the one you just gave us, because believe me, a lot of people have emailed in and said, we love Trooper Chuck. Now, you don't have the same number of angels that Dennis Romeo has.
Oh, nobody does, Trooper Chuck.
But you have quite a following. So, listeners, that's Trooper Chuck Allen. Thanks for the call, and we look forward to next hour.
Thanks, Eddie.
All right, listeners, let me tell you something. I have challenged everybody in our nation, that's right, 50 states.
And 564 reservations.
You better believe it. I have challenged everyone Nobody, but nobody has a better highway patrol than we have here in the great state of Nevada. And we have Trooper Chuck Allen, our public information officer. We're going to take a quick break. Hey, I really love this. Big Jim Rigger has just joined us. Remember, listeners, you can join us. You can come get behind a microphone, just like Joann Spotted Bear has done now. Big Jim Rigger has showed up. And also, listeners, you can text us 775-384-4444 or call us. The number today, write it down today, 775-827-8900. Hey,
Clear.
Jim, how are you? Hey, Jim, how are you? Boy, we're getting a full house. Come sit down.
Chuck is a friend of mine.
Chuck,
From the Air
well, say hi
Guard.
to him then.
Yeah.
Say hi to him. You retired from the Air Guard.
Yeah.
Well, say hi
Chuck
to
knows
him.
me very well.
Yeah, sure. Say hi to him. He's listening. He does our reports.
Yeah, I'll say hi to him.
I just know one of you guys made this. It's good.
Get some, Jim, you want coffee and sweet?
I have some coffee, but I've got several of those already
Okay, yeah.
with me.
Me too.
It's my survival pack.
So how's Trigger?
Trigger's doing good, buddy. I'm gonna go see Trigger tonight for dinner. I'm going to the ranch tonight. See, in the winter, I stay at the Vagabond. Okay, and then we feed, and then my wife sometimes will come in. We'll have dinner, and then she'll stay at the Vagabond, drive out, and feed in the morning. You know, and then she stays at the ranch, and then of course in the good weather, I stay at the ranch every night, every day, and then
Great.
weekends every night, like you saw.
What time do you leave here?
How about 4?
So you get over there. I just bought a camera so I can get some pictures.
Good. You stop by anytime.
You know, I never did go out to your ranch, Eddie.
You need to go.
I do.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I've seen videos.
Samson, oh my God, what a warrior.
I would love. You know, I was meant to tell you I would like to talk to you more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the video we did yesterday on the radio show, all my videos. Okay, I was telling Eddie,
Did
I
you?
have
Like,
500,000 plus friends on Facebook, and I talked to 7 ambassadors of the UN. And the videos that I make,
did you make a video? Or?
yeah, that's what I do right here, and
Oh,
then
I
I
didn't
put
know.
them on the internet, and
Wow,
they
that's
go
awesome.
worldwide.
Go to hit Evansville, Indiana. That's where I'm from. I'm from Indiana.
Just say it on the radio, and everything it'll pick up right there.
Especially with coffee.
And it goes, like I said, it goes nationwide, and then it goes worldwide, then it goes to the
You set that
ambassadors.
lid over there on that
Wow,
table, because if
that's
somebody reaches in there, it
And,
comes across on the
See
radio.
it? My daughter's in California.
She is?
Gilroy, California.
Gilroy?
In San Jose. I got 2 daughters there. But my sister's in New York. I'm worldwide. Like I said yesterday, my uncles and my aunts in Liverpool, by Liverpool, you know, so.
Liverpool, you ought to tell them to listen. Let's see if I got any.
Home of the Beatles. So.
I had a friend who was a World War II vet told me the story. He came back from Europe. He had a little girl. She wasn't finishing her dinner. So he says, you know, there's a little girl in Germany right now who doesn't have anything. Who'd like to have that dinner. And the daughter says, do you have a little girl in Germany, Daddy?
I like it.
I like it.
My daughter came in August is my birthday, and she came in August, and she came to the hotel, and she had already checked in.
1 minute.
Okay.
That little devil was sweet.
They're good too. Boy, they're you know what they are? They're certainly habit forming. I can assure you that.
45.
What are we doing anyway?
We're just talking.
Talking.
30.
Is this mic live?
Yeah, it's on. 20. 15. Okay, quiet please, 10 seconds. Mics are coming hot.
All right, listeners, we are back now. AM News, national news show bringing community right into your front door. We get phone calls from all over with weather, news updates in your area. Now, there's 3 ways today I think you should get involved. Let me tell you how they are. You can get involved by actually walking through the front door of the Reno Town Mall across from the Reno Sparks Convention Center. We're like maitre d's, me and Dennis. We'll seat you behind a microphone, table by the window, table by the window. That's what we like to say. Donner party of one. Donner party of one. No. All right, listeners, and also we want to tell you this. You can text us. That text number is 775-384-4444. Our service, the national toll-free number for several businesses nationwide, thousands of them, is down right now. So use this phone number to call in, like we've heard from Mississippi, Penny. We've heard from Oklahoma with Allen. We have heard from South Australia with Dunn. We have heard from Reno, Nevada. We have heard from Sparks, Nevada. And when we come back from break, I want to give shout outs to different people listening right now, live streaming. Tell your family member, friends, and associates to go to renegaderadio.org. That's renegaderadio.org. You can listen live streaming around the world. Big shout out to Mesa, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Flagstaff, Prescott, and Gilbert, Arizona. Give us a call, toll free, 855-790-8255. Just joining us, you heard us before we went to break. I said, you know, Big Jim Rigger Sr. has joined us. And Jim, you wanted to say a big shout out to Trooper Chuck.
Hey Chuck, this is Tech Sergeant Rigger. You know who I am, civil engineering.
You
Hi,
retired.
Nevada Air Guard. How's everybody doing there early this morning?
You better
And
believe.
hi to Sierra Army Depot, where I worked for 20 years. And
Herlong, right?
absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. And let's talk to Evansville, Indiana, where I'm from, and the Wrights High Panthers, where I graduated from a few years ago, 1967. But let's get Indiana over here and let's talk to the reservation in Cherokee, North Carolina.
Cherokee, North Carolina. Joann Spotted Bear. Now, you don't know this, but you heard it yesterday. Big Jim Rigger Sr. is also, you know, a member of the reservation like you are. You're Pine Ridge, and he's in North Carolina. So, you know, I'm glad the two of you showed up today, got behind the microphone. Listeners, let me tell you how it works. Nobody is absolutely said, you know, here's an invitation, I'm going to come join Dennis and Eddie. That's not the way it works. We invite everybody to come join us, and we have rotation through here. It's absolutely wonderful. And also joining us right now, someone who's no stranger to the microphone, a radio talk show host himself, Big Jim Kane. Jim Kane has joined us, Citizen Kane's Americana. Jim, welcome to the set.
I'm smaller now, Eddie. 10 pounds.
10 pounds, good for you, brother, 10 for you. But I noticed that arm reach out for those cream puffs here on the table.
Yes, you did.
All right, now.
If you would watch closely, you'd have seen some of them come back.
All right, listeners, I want to share with you. Now, I said that for one reason, not only just to tease Jim Kane, but also to let you know that if you join us, we have coffee and we have cream puffs. We have cream puffs and coffee here for anybody who shows up, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 microphones available for you, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 available that are taken right now. So that's how many microphones we have. A big shout out to Jimmy Gavigan right now, Mayport, Florida. Big shout out for him. And Jimmy, I want you to get involved. Give us a call. Okay, that number is 855. Oh, excuse me. No, we're using 775. 827-8900. Let me give it to you again. Write it down. Sorry about it. It's not our fault. It's the National Services fault. It's 775-827-8900. That noise you hear in the background, that
Well, it's
happened.
Eddie's stomach.
It sounded like Eddie's stomach, but it's actually a text. It's a text coming in, and guess what? Ready? Whoa, how about this? This is a big shout out. You know, you imagine this is our very own Debbie McCarthy.
Hi, Peanut.
Peanut has texted in and says, don't forget to mention to everybody we have the VOA breakfast this morning. Now, see,
Well, of course we know that. We're the only two working in this whole stinking company right now. And I just found out yesterday we have a boss.
yeah,
We have a general manager. Who knew that?
yeah, well, he knew it. He knew it.
Jeez.
I knew it. Well, you should have read the memo. Just, next time you get a
Memo,
memo,
schmemo.
you know, next time you get a memo, just do me a favor. Read the black parts.
The
that's
black
all.
part?
Just the
Okay.
black part. But Debbie wants a big shout out to everybody going to the Volunteers of America breakfast this morning at John Asquaga's Nugget.
Oh,
And
God.
you know, I've got to share with you. Yes, Dennis and I are working, but we have the pleasure of sitting here with Joann Spotted Bear, a Lakota from Pine Ridge. We have also Big Jim Rigger. He's from the Cherokee Reservation, North Carolina, and Jim Kane, host of Citizen Kane's Americana. They've all joined us. You can too, Joann.
I would like to invite 564 federal tribal members to give Eddie and
A dollar. No,
The dollar.
$1.50.
Okay.
That's them giving you $1.50. No.
Yeah.
No. I was wondering if 564 federal recognized tribes could help support this radio station and come join us, give us a call, or come on in and be a part of the radio station. They're
And you know-
excellent people.
Thank you, Joann, for that. And a lot of people don't know, and Jim, I'll say this to you. Joann represents them all at the United Nations, okay? The young lady you're sitting with right here represents them all at the United Nations. So Joann, thanks for the great job you do for every reservation nationwide. And when I say nationwide, listeners, I like to say it's coast to coast, border to border, and
Res to res.
res to res.
Can I tell you real quick how I got that position?
Sure.
Okay, relatives, when the Indians, we call each other relatives. All of us are related from birth or before birth through our family members. And what happened was Wounded Knee is highly respected. The 1890 Wounded Knee massacre is highly respected by all the tribal members throughout the nation, from California to New York, Montana to Texas, and all the way around the world. And I also am a peyote member, which means that I belong to the Native American Church. And I also sundanced for 7 years. And the reason I'm here today is because I also humblecha. Humblecha means that you go without food or water for 4 days and 4 nights and you pray. So the more that you give yourself to the Creator, you become respected by the people. But none of us are perfect. And so what happens is they go in steps. Like, for instance, they look at your traditional ways, your values, and where you're coming from, and your history, and your family. And that was the only way I was able to become a Tetuan Treaty representative, second in the world, recognized by the grandmothers and the elderly men to join. And they said anybody and everybody could become one of those Tetuan Treaty.
Well, congratulations. Joann Spotted Bear from Pine Ridge, a Lakota. Jim?
Yeah, I think I'd like to bring this up since she's Lakota Sioux. When I was in high school in Topeka, Kansas, the high school that I went to in our athletic conference, the Haskell Institute in Lawrence, Kansas, was there. And just a couple of years behind me was Billy Mills. And then I went to Kansas State, and Billy went to Kansas University. So, you know, we knew one another casually over the years. And for those who don't know who Billy Mills was, Billy Mills is probably the last American to win the 10,000 meters in the Olympic Games,
Amen.
which was
Amen.
in Tokyo in 1964.
Right.
Wow.
And by the way, from an athletic standpoint, Jim, if memory serves me, because I used to listen to Citizen Kane's Americana, your national talk show. I'd love to have you come back and be a part of America Matters Media family too, but didn't you shot put?
I was a shot putter and discus thrower at Kansas State.
Wow, there you have
Wow.
it. I thought so. I thought I went for that. That's a good memory, isn't it, Big Jim Rigger?
Absolutely.
You better
Absolutely.
believe it,
I did
yeah.
a little bit of track myself and ran cross country in Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a scholarship offer to Austin PU in Tennessee.
beautiful. And also 20 years with the reserves.
There was actually 18 years Navy and 15 years with the Air National Guard.
And bless your heart, and thank you for
And
your
I
service.
retired
Yep,
there in
thank you.
2009, which
Mhm.
President Obama sign my retirement papers.
He signed it. Did he give you free health care at the time?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go political, but I have to. From time to time, my listeners.
Remember, nothing's free.
That's right.
Yeah.
There are no.
What
there
they
are
say
no free.
isn't
And by the
real.
way,
Sadly, there are a lot of people who think it is free.
yeah, that's the
it's
sad
not.
part, Jim Kane.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Kane. And by the way, what I'm going to do from now on, just to make it simple, I'm going to say Jim R. Or I'm going to point to you. I'm going to say Jim C. and point to you. And listeners, I'm talking about Big Jim Rigger from, you know, a reservation in North Carolina, Cherokee Reservation. Also joining us today, Joann Spotted Bear, a Lakota, you know, from Pine Ridge, and Jim Kane, aka Jim C. He's been the host of a national talk show called Citizen Kane's Americana. We're here. We're at the Reno Town Mall. Free cream puffs. Where are you? I'll tell you where you are. You're probably at that VOA breakfast at John Esquaga's Nugget. By the way, while we're at it, you know, there's certain amount of sadness. I'm very happy for the Esquaga family. Very, very happy. But God, you know, I kind of miss saying that we have John Esquaga's Nugget, family owned. Don't you, Dennis? Don't you miss that?
Yeah, it's almost like the end of an era here. It's been a tradition in Sparks for over 50 years. I mean, John Esquaga and Stephen more recently, you know, running the operation. They were familiar faces. I just hope it doesn't turn into another corporate money-making machine.
I'm sad to say, but that's it. But I'm like you guys. I feel bad about that passing. It's nice to have that family-owned or single-owner operation. And I guess the Coronas will be the last of anything that resembles a family-owned.
And
They're going public.
They're going public. They
Yeah.
just kind of blended with another corporation. So once again, that old day. Remember, when I came into this community in 1969, almost 1970, the very first person I met on the phone, who then I met the next day, took me to lunch with his boss. His name was Lloyd Dyer. And he was president CEO of Harrah's, and his boss was Bill Harrah, and we flew to Sacramento for lunch. I had not been in town 24 hours.
Wow.
And then when we flew back, that afternoon they went and introduced me to another Phi Delta Theta fraternity brother, Mr. John Esquaga himself. I then looked myself in the mirror and said, I'm never leaving this town. I mean, everybody I've met so far.
Eddie, I think every casino in town of any size was privately owned.
Absolutely. You know, even remember Fitzgerald's?
Oh, absolutely.
Fitzgerald's,
Yeah, the
absolutely.
old Purple Gang member who kind of left them in a hurry. He left them with their money. He was the bookkeeper for the Purple Gang. You know. All right, listeners, let me tell you what you can do. You can text us. That text number, 775-384-4444. You can also call us right now. That number is 775-827-8900. Want to hear from you. Big shout out to Rhonda, okay? Rhonda, right now, McCormick says, trying to listen to you several times. What do I have to do to listen on Menorcan Minute? Well, I tell you what you do, Rhonda. You simply do as follows. You tune us in, okay? RenegadeRadio.org. Those of you who know Rhonda McCormick, tell her how to do it. I'm sending her a text right now so that she can chime in from her location somewhere in FLA, Big Florida. All right?
And we don't push Lee. Lee's the godmother,
Oh,
and
good
when she
Lord.
wants to call, she'll call.
That's right. Nobody pushes anybody on this show. Big shout out to, by the way, Topeka, Kansas. And also, they're listening to Jim Kane. That's probably why they're listening to us, Jim. You know, your old stomping ground.
Well, I've been gone from there a long time, so.
Well, this guy just texted and said you owe him money. No, I'm just kidding.
And pay me, and I'll get it to him.
That's right. Just drop it off right here, okay? And by the way, a big shout out, like I said, to D.L. Whitehead. You
Hi,
know,
DL.
Dennis, you know, the author lives right here in northern Nevada. You know, DL, thanks for listening to the show. We really appreciate it. What I'm going to do right now, Dennis, before we come to the top of the hour, I have been remiss in the following. So many people, and we've promised them they can do this. They can leave updates, comments right on Facebook. Listeners, here's how you do that. You go to facebook.com/pardon me, one word, pardon me, Eddie, leave a question, comment, quote, prayer, you name it. We're going to talk about it right here on the air. And I love this one. I absolutely love this one. This came from Donna, and it looks like Donna Walt-Ilgens, Illgens, okay, and it says, behind every great man, okay, is a woman rolling her eyes. I love that. Thanks for the humor this morning.
Mine left.
Mine left. That's kind of sad. I'll tell you what. That's kind of sad. Oh, now this is on a. Oh, wow. Let me tell you about Hugh. Hugh Wilson.
Hi, Hugh.
Hugh.
Good
ready?
morning, Hugh.
Hugh retired in, I believe, North Carolina. Hugh, call in 775-827-8900. Hugh Wilson graduated from University of Florida. Hugh Wilson then went on to win several awards with his advertising abilities. Hugh Wilson then was hired away by Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, wow.
Hugh Wilson then, now wait a minute, it gets better, Hugh Wilson was a fraternity brother at University of Florida. Hugh Wilson then went on to write for Mary Tyler Moore Show, then the Bob Newhart Show. Remember the Bob Newhart Show?
Absolutely.
And then one day he went to Mary Tyler Moore and said, I have an idea for a sitcom. How would this be? WKRP in Cincinnati. Remember that?
Wow.
WKRP in Cincinnati. Hugh Wilson writes in, and Hugh, thank you very much. News alert. The New York Times that called Obamacare a glitch has now started calling it a fumble. When it becomes a full-scale man-made disaster, they will move to, quote, serious hiccup. Then a serious problem caused by the GOP. Does any sane person believe this once respected paper anymore? That's the New York Times. Hugh Wilson's giving them hell, Jim.
Let me comment on that situation a little bit. I used to sell data systems,
Yeah.
and when I sold data systems, I learned you better get involved in the installation too, because they're always going to be difficult. If they think they're going to solve this problem at the end of this month, they're dumber than I think they are. It's not going to happen. This is really a major issue, folks. They attempted to do way too much.
Yeah, I think so, Jim.
Jim, can I say something, cut in there? First off, Billy Mills, I would like to hear from him and you guys talking. I think that would be awesome. Man, I think that would be awesome. That'd be beautiful.
I think he still lives in Sacramento. That's the last I knew.
Yeah, he does.
I haven't seen him since my athletic days.
You know what? I'm so glad you brought it up, and Joann, that's what happens here on AM News. Thanks to Dr. Robert Primo of Lakota, who's from Standing Rock Reservation, not only a friend of mine, but also the host of Situation Report, our first veteran show to go national for America Matters Media. I'll get a hold of him because he's still friends with Billy Mills. Okay?
Oh, wow.
And we'll have him call in. And by the way, a big shout out to Dr. Primo right now. Bob is in North Dakota and he's listening to us right now. So a big shout out to him as well. You know, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, listen, I want to define that Billy Mills thing a little bit. Billy was the Rocky of the 10,000 meters. He wasn't supposed to win. He wasn't even considered to be a medalist. But when it got down to the kick, there was one of the other runners, when they're getting, I don't know, there were 300 yards from the finish or so, elbowed him out into the outer lanes. Well, it gave him a shot at adrenaline, and he took off. But he was the Rocky of the 64 Olympics.
Wow.
I'm the Rocky of 2010.
You're the Rockette.
Yeah.
You're not the Rocky. You are,
Well,
my
I'd like
friend.
to think I am.
The Rockette. And speaking of Rockettes right now, Dennis, you're going to love this, my friend. Verita Black Pro Throw.
Lovely lady.
Wow, what a drop dead, like we say in the South, just drop dead gorgeous.
Gorgeous. They say that in the North too, Eddie. Just so
Yeah,
you
but they
know.
don't say it as good. They don't say it as passionate.
They don't have the accent.
They don't have the
It
accent.
doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yes, and believe me, Verita Black Pro Throw is drop dead gorgeous. Now, here's what she wrote into AM News this morning. and you're gonna love this. I love a smile in the morning. That's what we try to do to you. We bring community radio. You've heard weather reports all across this nation and even one from South Australia so far this morning. But how's this for a beautiful smile? It says, and it's a news report brought to you by Verita Black Prothrow. It says every day, thousands of innocent plants are killed by vegetarians. help end the violence. Eat bacon. Eat bacon. I tell you what, Verita, that's my favorite so far.
That's as bad as the Society for the Preservation of Shrimp.
Oh, easy.
Carrots have rights too. You know?
Well, you know what? Believe it or not,
They get to eat by horses.
you know what's so amazing? Now, when we come back, and this is the one break we can't blow through.
Have to.
FCC really scolds me if top of the hour I don't do our break and do our segue into the station calls for our various radio stations. But I've got to share with you, one of the things that is truly amazing to me is how many people are getting involved now nationwide and around the world. Not our news show listeners, it truly is your news show. You hear that in the background? That no, like Joann said, that's not my stomach. That's the text coming in that we'll get to after top of the hour. That text number is 775-384-4444, or come join us here at the Reno Town Mall across from the beautiful Atlantis Hotel Casino, and actually get behind the microphone, have a cream puff and a cup of coffee on us. And also the day's phone number, 775, write it down, 775-827-8900. We will be right back.
Clear.
I said I saw Johnny Cash at the Nugget. I saw Lisa.
You what?
I saw Johnny Cash and his wife June Carter, and I saw Lisa Marie Presley there too.
We're at.
The Nugget.
Oh.
Yeah, he had some great
You know,
shows.
I don't think I ever went to a show out there.
Yeah, I sat down by Rosanna Cash, you know, and we talked like
That's
we're
his
talking
daughter.
right now.
That's his
That's
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her on TV and heard her
Yeah,
sing.
we
I
talk-
like her singing.
Oh, yeah. June Carter was a funny lady. Oh my God, she's funny. Lisa Marie Presley looks just like her dad, man. And her moves when she sings is just, that's because I saw Elvis Presley. I saw him in Caesars in Lake Tahoe. By the way, George Strait won the country award yesterday, so entertainer of the year. I didn't know Billy Mills was around this area.
Well, after, you know, this is getting a long time ago. I think after, Billy may have been in the Air Force when he was in the I just don't remember. But the last I knew of him was that he was in Sacramento. He was an insurance agent, had a brokerage firm, I don't know that. And then they made the movie about him running
Oh,
great.
Eddie, can we talk about the donation for Pine Ridge, or when do we talk about that?
Well, we'll do it because you have to leave soon, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, when we come back, I'll say you have a special request to people nationwide. Okay, and then remember, we have to keep it comments around 1 to 2 minutes.
I went
Okay.
to see him.
Because it's fast paced.
Joanne,
Okay.
I went to
watch
see
the
him,
clock.
and I shouldn't have.
Either here or there. When you see it winding down, don't start into something.
Hollywood farce.
Okay,
Because
Yeah,
that's
well, you
when
know,
it has to go
it's-
to break.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
was
is.
laughing.
Media
I
based,
need to
you
know
know
when
what?
7:15
We're
stops.
supposed to be serious
I will.
moments on the
Okay.
screen. I was laughing because I knew it was most bullshit.
Dennis?
So maybe we could bring up about John Squagus and
No, we're on the air right now.
Presley.
You wanna talk to him on
Johnny
the air?
Cash. You know.
Okay.
Oh,
Sure.
Red Skelton used to.
Yeah. Is that all right, Eddie?
What's that?
To bring up about Johnny Cash and Lisa Marie Presley being at the Nugget.
Sure.
And of course Lacey J. That's where I saw Lacey J.
Yeah, you can bring up anything.
Yeah,
What you got, brother?
Just something we have to read once a show.
Oh, yeah. We'll let it be the top of the second hour. Since you had
That's
this.
now.
Is this really a
That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Since I was
That way I won't
Thanks for the
forget.
memory, you
18 years
know.
old.
Yeah.
Well, Craig left them all over.
Is that
so-
Angier
Priscilla
and
Presley
Associates?
was there.
Clifford Angier?
Her mom was
Dennis
there.
Angier, I
Angier?
believe it is, yeah.
Well, she's a beautiful gal.
Oh, yeah. Well, Lisa Marie's got twins, you know.
No,
Yeah, she's got
I don't know that much about
her daughter's a model.
Her daughter's what?
A model.
Sharon DiMattia's online one.
Oh, good.
You want to talk
You
to
know,
her?
and
I
then
can call
Elvis
her up.
Presley was
Yeah.
Cherokee.
Hi, Sharon. How are you, sweetheart?
Hey, Eddie, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for calling into the show. You can update us with anything you want,
Oh,
okay?
I'm sorry. What's
All
your-
right.
We're at top of the hour now, Sharon, and I've got to share with you, okay, that we always do the pledge and stuff like that, then we'll come right to you, okay?
Perfect.
All
That
right.
sounds good.
Okay, kid.
Joe Lewis was black, white, and Cherokee Indian. Did you know that?
No, I don't know who Joe Lewis
Joe
is.
was one of the greatest heavyweights that ever lived.
I didn't know.
They didn't box at Pine Ridge.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
He had
that was-
a
that was
grandfather that was a full-blood Cherokee chief.
Okay, a minute and a half.
Elvis Presley used to go to the powwows in Memphis.
My dad took me to see Lewis when I was about 10 years old in an exhibition.
Joe Lewis, he's the black
Joe
guy who
Lewis,
was
yeah.
kind of, no, I'm thinking.
You'd know who he was right away. You wouldn't know at all.
That's right.
Okay.
But when
Great
I
spot
saw
for
him,
his time,
when I saw
at
him,
his
he
time.
took his robe off, and his coloring was such. I thought he looks more like an Indian.
He
than
was
a
in
black. Well, that's what you said.
1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
That's cool. I learned something even on breaks here.
Okay, 45 seconds.
Top of the hour, kids, so I have to name the mention, I have to mention the,
30. 30 back. Twenty seconds. 15. 10. Mics are coming hot. Quiet, please.
All right, listeners, we are back now. AM News. It's a Nevada Matters talk show, part of the America Matters Media family of talk shows nationwide, heard nationwide. And when I say nationwide, I mean coast to coast, border to border, and
Res to res.
you better believe it. That was Joann Spotted Bear. She joined us along with Big Jim Rigger. He has joined us along with Jim Kane. We're all on set with my sidekick, Dennis Romeo. It's top of the hour. One thing that sets apart AM News from any other news show, besides the fact that it's not our news show, it's yours. You call in with weather, news from your area. We've heard from South Australia, we've heard from Oklahoma, we've heard from California, we've heard from Nevada, and we've also heard from Mississippi. So you give us a call. That number is 775, that's right, Topeka, Kansas, I forgot. 775-827-8900, but also the only news show that kicks off every hour on the hour with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of these great united, and let's keep them that way, United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we always repeat,
under God.
you gotta believe that. You gotta believe it, and it belongs in every school, and it belongs in every courthouse. That's my opinion. What's your opinion? YOPINION. That's your opinion. You get to call us, 775-827-8900. We always go to callers first, so Dennis, who do we have?
Well, Eddie, on line 5 we have Sharon. Hey, Sharon.
What's up?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh man, I recognize that beautiful voice from that beautiful lady. Sharon DiMattia, how are you and what's going on here in Northern Nevada?
I am great, and thank you for having me on. Well, I do this great project called the Art Society, which is just all based on this great provocative core question of if you were a canvas and I painted your outline on it, how would you tell your story? And so far I've created a couple hundred plus really incredible stories, and I'm really excited to say I'm going to start it at an elementary school.
Oh, beautiful.
So there's a local school here in Reno, and starting next week, I'm going to profile over 400, right around 400 kids and faculty. And you know, in this day and age and where we are right now, what's great about this project is it's just all about getting to know each other on a really different kind of level, because it strips away all the exterior garbage that we put in place and that we actually judge each other on. So it's always been my passion to do it in a school, and I get to do that now. So.
Well, boy, I'm so excited and so happy, and I'm really pleased what you're doing. You've always done so much for our community here, and you continue to do that. I've got to share something with you you're going to absolutely love as you continue listening to AM News. And listeners, if you just tuned in, I'm talking to Sharon DiMatteo. She joins Debbie McCarthy on Chick Chat every Wednesday from noon till 3, and they do such a wonderful job along with Candy and so many other women here in Northern Nevada. But you know, you're going to love this. There's a teacher named Daniel that Debbie arranged. Now, every AM News, he teaches 22 students at an elementary school in Sparks, and every AM News at the third hour, a student calls in with a weather, news, and sports report from that second grade class. And I'll tell you what, nothing warms our heart more than to hear that report from that little 8 or 9-year-old. Isn't that amazing?
That's truly amazing.
Well, Sharon, I want to thank you for the call, dear. I really mean that.
1 second, Eddie.
Sure.
Real quick, given this project, and you're right, because the kids are hugely important, and I wonder at what point do they start to change and become so concerned with what others think.
Right.
And given that, I need help with this project, because there's 400 kids, and as you know, up to this point, I could do it all myself. And now I'm asking for help. So if you go to, there's a site, it's called GoFundMe.com. And if you just do GoFundMe.com.
Spell that out, please. Spell that out.
Here we go. GoFundMe.com/art inside education.
All right, now I'm going to correct you real quick, only because we're trying to help you here on AM News. You forgot the me
Yeah.
part of it. You forgot the me.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, it's
no.
GoFund, right? Is it GoFund only?
Yeah, GoFundMe. Sorry, same thing.
Uh-huh.
GoFundMe.com/art inside education.
Beautiful. Well, guess what?
And yeah, everyone just needs to help. We need to change some things. So I sure appreciate it.
Oh, listen, we're here for you. This is what we do nationwide. We've helped people raise money all across this wonderful country of ours. So we want to help you right here in the community where we hail from. Sharon DiMatteo, thanks for the call, sweetheart. Okay?
All right, see you later.
All right, you better believe it. That was Sharon DiMatteo. She called 775-827-8900. So can you, Jim.
Listen, about halfway through, it dawned on me who she is. I started to say was.
Still is.
Yeah. Too bad we weren't on television so people could see how
Woo-wee.
lovely she is.
Oh, she's absolutely, what we say in the South, ladies and gentlemen, drop dead gorgeous.
Can't you just envision a New Yorker trying to say
No, I can't. They're too, what we say in the South, stupid. All right, listeners, that phone number is 775-827-8900. And remember, if you want to email me, that is pardonme.eddie, pardon me, one word, .eddie @gmail.com. You can do what Ray Roca just did. And he said, hey, Eddie, please tell everybody, reminder, we have a Tuesday meeting, 11/12 at the Atlantis at 11:30 a.m. And he's talking about the Washoe County Republican Party. And they have a wonderful meeting there on the November 12th at the Atlantis, 11:30. Get a hold of him. And that comes from Ray Roca sending it to me, a memo from Bill Myers, who is president of the RMC here. Dennis, who do we have?
Well, Eddie, on line 1 we have Lee. Hey, Lee.
What's up?
Lee.
Lee? Oh, Lee. Go, wait. Let me be like a raffle, remember? Lee going once. Lee going twice. All right, let's go to our next caller, Dennis.
Well, from Las Vegas, we have Scott Pritchard. Hey, Scott.
What's up?
Happy Thursday. What's up?
What's up, Scott Pritchard? Let me tell our listeners, we have so many new listeners nationwide. This is Scott Pritchard. What he does, ever since our inaugural show, I asked him to please call in every single show. He hasn't missed a show. He's got an unbelievable record. He'll share it with you. And what he does is he calls us in with a sports pick every single time AM News airs. So, Scott Pritchard, with that introduction, what's up?
One play, one time, looking at a hockey game tonight. Keep in mind, my last 47 plays on this show, 39 wins after another win 2 days ago, 8 losses. Looking at a hockey game tonight, the New Jersey Devils are on the road taking on the Flyers of Philadelphia. My money on the home team, home cooking, home ice, Flyers, winner, winner, steak and lobster dinner.
I love it.
Listen, who do you like in Oregon and Stanford tonight?
Well, I think the whole world likes Oregon. I mean, Stanford is a great academic school, but when it comes to football, it's tough to go against the Ducks. Oregon, I think, wins going away.
Hey, you know, I'm so glad. Now, before you give the listeners nationwide, and we have to get to some callers, everybody, this is the one time I absolutely say what happens in Las Vegas, I don't want to see stay in Las Vegas. I want you to win because you're listening to Scott Pritchard. But you know what, Scott? I have challenged anybody in Oregon to call me, and they won't do it. I feel so sorry for the state of Oregon. It's almost like they got last pick. They drew short straw when it come to naming mascots. Ducks and beavers? Are you kidding me?
With all the rain they get there?
Hey, Scott Pritchard, how do people get a hold of you in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada?
The best way is to reach out to me on my website, pritchardspicks.com. That's www.pritchardspicks.com. You can opt in for free daily selections. Love being a part of the show. Eddie, Dennis, you guys are the best. You have a lot of fans in Las Vegas, this city. Keep up the good work, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Scott Pritchard, beautiful Las Vegas. A big shout out right now to some of our dear friends, Atlantic Beach, Florida, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Also want to hear from you in, let's see, where is this? Okay, we got our good buddy in Callahan, Florida listening right now, along with so many other parts of Florida, Lakeland, Port Malabar. Never heard of Port Malabar when I grew up. Tampa, Florida, St. Petersburg. I tell you what, listeners, let's go to our next caller. Dennis, who do we have?
Well, Eddie, on line 7, we have Chris Graham. Hey, Chris.
What's up?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, Chris, I tell you what, perfect timing. You followed.
Amen.
You followed Scott Pritchard of Pritchard's Pick down in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Listeners, this is Chris Graham. He's one of the co-hosts along with Rick Parr, Josh Floyd, Ryan Dolan, Ryan Walters, and Chris Graham, as well as their resident blonde sports reporter, Debbie McCarthy. What do we got on your plate today, Chris?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and go over and practice with the Western Nevada Wildcats, check out their team. My team, really, was I do their play-by-play during the season. We should have a pretty good team, push for the national championship. We're going to be ranked in the top 10 again this year, I believe, as a preseason poll. So I got to check out the team and get used to it.
Wow, loving it, Chris, loving it. Hey, I want to invite everybody, come meet Chris in person. It's every Wednesday 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. It's called Talking Sports, and it is more fun. I see you guys have a blast. It's like a continual laugh-a-thon, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a great show. I never want to miss it. I always love coming up Wednesday mornings and doing some banter with the guys. And of course, Debbie, can't do it without Debbie. And it's a great time.
You better believe it. Hey, Chris Graham, thanks for the call. Thanks for the update. Now, I need you to do this for me, okay, tomorrow. Please set that clock for you. I want you to give me an update on tonight's games, okay?
Okay, definitely.
You got it. That was Chris Graham. He called 775-827-8900, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I love you. I love you.
Good morning, Ocean Springs.
Mississippi, you better believe it. I love you, cuz. Give us a call. That number again, 775-827-8900. Dennis, who do we have?
Well, we're doing it again, Eddie. Sponsors.
Oh,
I apologize.
God.
We missed a break, but we have phone calls. We have Rico on line 2. Hey, Rico.
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy, Rico. Hey, Rico, do me a favor now. Okay, you tell the listeners where you're calling from. Give me a quick weather report, and I'm going to lay the segment here and let people know everything about your company. I'm going to give you a shameless plug. Tell the people where you're calling from. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from California in a little town about a couple hours east of Los Angeles, Lake Elsinore.
Lake Elsinore, California. Okay, and that's Rico Sandoval, my dear, dear, dear friend. Okay, Rico Sandoval. Now I tell you what, I periodically see pictures of that beautiful daughter of yours. Let's give her a big shout out. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Her name is Destiny.
Destiny, and I tell you what, she is just absolute. Thank God she took after her mother, Rico.
You know what? Her mother's Costa Rican, so you can just imagine how beautiful she's going to turn out, because I'm Costa Rican women are beautiful.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Rico, tell the listeners, because right now we have so many listeners in and around the Los Angeles area, and right now I see 2 in Lake Elsinore. I also see some in Hemet. Tell the listeners the name of your company, how they can get a hold of you, and what you do.
Well, the name of my company is called Today's Home Inspection Service, and the easy way to get a hold of me is either through my phone, which is everybody's favorite, 951-202-4492, or they can visit my website at www.todayhomeservice.com.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, and what I do home inspections. So if anybody's interested in buying a house and they want to know more about the condition of the house, they can always contact me, and I'll be able to a nice detailed report of what the findings are.
You better believe it. Hey, Rico, what's the weather like right now in Lake Elsinore, California? We're going to go around the nation. What's the weather like?
It's 48 degrees Fahrenheit right now as we speak. I'm looking at my computer, I Googled it, and it's 48 degrees.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Participation 30%, humidity 36%, wind 0 miles per hour.
Wow, you have just become our Lake Elsinore weatherman. Okay? Hey, Rico,
Perfect.
thanks for the call, brother. We love you, and you know I love you, my friend. I absolutely.
It's nice talking to you, buddy.
All right, buddy, and you call anytime. Listeners, this is not my news show. This is not Dennis Romeo's news show. It's not even Jim Kane's and Jim Riggers or Joann Spotted Bear. They just happen to stop by. It's their news show. It's your news show if you stop by and get behind the microphone. It's your news show if you text me. That text number is 775-384-4444, and we always go to callers. If you call me, it's your news show, 775-827-8900. Let's prove it again.
Well, Eddie on line 1, and I have to apologize for having her on hold as long as I did. It is with the utmost respect that I introduce to you the godmother of the Menorcan Mafia, Lee. Hey, Lee. What's up?
What's up?
Good morning. You tried to give away my spot, you troublemaker.
God, we would never. Let me tell you what, Lee. Dennis, your honorary cousin, would never let your real cousin, yours truly, because we're both Menorcans. Okay, I can't wait to meet you too. But you know, listeners, let me tell you how this all started. It started at the very beginning of AM News, because it just so happens that I came across a Menorcan fan page. Anybody from the island of Menorca ancestry, they get involved, they get updates, and then all of a sudden I had the honor of meeting Lee. She called in with our very first Menorcan Minute, and very rarely has ever missed one yet with an update of heritage. And we invite anybody. You might be Greek, you might be unfortunate like Dennis and be Italian.
Lee, are you going to let him say that about me?
I'm sorry, I have to put you on before I go.
Oh.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Lee, how about our Menorcan Minute?
Listen,
Well, today we're going to talk about cigar makers, and one of the families named Pomar had a gentleman by the name of Eugene who had a small cigar factory in St. Augustine. Well, I had recently posted on the social media page something about cigars, and I said that, you know, yes, there were cigar factories in St. Augustine, but I didn't think that the industry was that large. And boy, oh boy, was that a mistake. They had made nearly 4 million cigars in 1903.
Wow.
And this was done by hand.
Wow.
A good skilled worker could produce 100 to 300 cigars a day.
Wow. You know, when I was at University of Florida, we didn't even have anybody who could roll a joint like that. That was great.
Well, in 1920 and 21, there were 8 cigar factories in operation in St. Augustine. And finally, somebody got wise. They brought in machinery, and ultimately, through a long string of circumstances, the majority of the cigar making was moved to Jacksonville, and a lot of them went to Tampa. Cigar making was already a huge industry in Tampa. So when the machinery came in and things started happening a lot faster, the larger companies moved out of the St. Augustine area.
Hey, Lee, did they grow the tobacco there too, or did they bring it in from somewhere else?
Well, one of the names that I found relating to the ownership of one of the largest families was Karkava, and he used to travel to Cuba on a regular basis. Cuba was had a huge tobacco growing industry.
Right.
He would go to Cuba to purchase his tobacco.
Still do.
Yeah. You know, I tell you what, still to this day, hard to beat those Cuban cigars. But if they want the oldest cigar in the United States, that'd be St. Augustine, wouldn't it?
That would.
All right. Hey, Lee, I want to thank you for calling in with our Minorca Minute. You have cousins all over the place, especially right now, Ocean Springs, Mississippi, listening to you right now, girl. Thanks for the call.
Thank you so much for letting me talk, and I'll yak at you later.
Yak at you later. I love it when she says that. That's what I wait for day after day. Living proof that it's not our news show. It is your news show. That number 775-827-8900. Dennis, who do we have?
Well, Eddie, on line 6, we have Ken with an opening stock market report. Hey, Ken,
What's up?
The stock market, it opened higher and then proceeded to sell off since then. We briefly tested new highs, record highs, but currently the Dow is down about 21 points, the NASDAQ is down 40 points, and the S&P 500 is down 7.5.
Did you say 40 points down on the NASDAQ?
It's down 40 points.
Oh,
Yes.
brother.
Wow. You
Just
just,
in yesterday.
I have never seen Jim Kane sweat blood like he's doing here on set right now with that type of fall on the NASDAQ, Jim. That's pretty
big.
heavy. That's pretty heavy. Hey, Ken Roberts, host of Ken's Bulls and Bears, all about the stock market. And by the way, Jim Kane, host of Citizen Kane's Americana national show, is a big fan of yours. Tell people how to get a hold of your book. Tell people how they can have their portfolio presented to Ken Roberts of Fat Tail Trading and Research. How do they get a hold of you?
You can give me a call at 775-825-4555, and you can find my book, The Tactical Option Investor, on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com.
Beautiful. Ken Roberts, thanks for the call. We look forward to one more report next hour.
Thanks, Eddie.
All right, that's Ken Roberts. Now, we got to say goodbye to Joann Spotted Bear. Joann, you have some closing comments and a request. Is that right?
Yes, thank you, Eddie. My dear relatives, I'm going to ask for a special request for the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. We're trying to raise $50,000 and get the United Nations Chief Ambassador involved. And you can go to, once again, www.gofundme.com, Pine Ridge Elderlies, and donate. The reason for this is there was $2.64 billion of embezzlement. And there's people paying rent on condemned homes that can't keep the heat inside. And because of these harsh conditions, winter months, we depend on the community to help us. So
You know what? GoFundMe, and that's Pine Ridge. Check it out. Help them, because I'll tell you what, they deserve our help. You know, and Jim, I know you agree with me as well, because we need to get some heat to the people on the Pine Ridge Reservation. Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, if there's one mistake you ever made, it was you did not secure your borders good enough when we came over.
No, I always have to say no, because I've met some personally, myself, I've met some damn good friends, and excuse my language, but I'm not racist, I'm not judgmental, but don't piss me off.
You heard it from Joann. Hey, thanks for
Wait,
joining
wait,
us.
Just,
Yes,
just
okay.
one more small thing. I have one donor who was willing and is willing to help donate 1,000 pounds of propane. And he wants people to help step up and match that. And therefore, that's why I wanted the United Nations to come down. And yes, Eddie, the chief ambassador of the United Nations, is coming to the United States of America to personally talk to me. And if we could get him on this radio show, that would be excellent.
You better believe it, and we will. You can count on. Hey, Joann Spotted Bear, thanks for joining us here on AM News along with Jim Kane and Big Jim Rigger. Listeners, you can do what Joann did. You can actually come down, get behind the microphone. We always go to callers 775-827-8900 or text us 775-384-4444. Caller, who do we have, Dennis?
Well, Eddie, fasten your safety belt. On line 1, we have John in Reno. Hey, John, what's up?
Hello, Obama.
Have you been following this big time ago?